Kelly Ripa suffers wardrobe malfunction live on air. I'm missing a lot of things. The early morning hum inside the studio of Live with Kelly and Mark usually carries a sort of controlled chaos. Stylists clicking through hair clips, makeup brushes swishing like tiny brooms, camera crews muttering countdowns under their breath. Every day, it all seems to magically pull itself together just in time for the iconic opening music. But on this particular morning, there was one key difference. Kelly Ripa was not ready. She was, in fact, half-dressed. 10 seconds before the show went live, Kelly was still in a dressing room that looked as though a small hurricane had touched down. Scarves sprawled over chairs, heels lay scattered like fallen soldiers, and somewhere beneath a pile of silk sat a lonely belt, one she did not notice missing until it was far too late. A frantic knock came from the door. "Kelly, we're live in 8. "Don't rush me," she yelled back, wrestling with a blouse that resisted like a toddler refusing to put on pajamas. From outside the room, her husband and co-host Mark Consuelos shouted in his usual calm tone, "Do you need help?" "No, I don't need you seeing me like this." This was not only a state of physical disarray, it was emotional too. Kelly Ripa, queen of morning banter, champion of casual glamour, was in full panic mode. The clock was ticking. The music was about to start. 5 seconds. With not so much a decision as a surrender, she threw on her blazer, grabbed the nearest pair of pants she could find, and ran. She didn't have time to zip, button, fasten, snap, secure, tuck, or check a mirror. She simply sprinted onto the stage as a producer whispered, and 3, 2, 1. And they were live. Disaster meets morning television. Kelly entered the set the way someone might crash into a birthday party while still tying their shoes. Mark looked at her with an amused half-smile, the kind reserved for spouses who know better than to comment, but can't resist anyway. "Are you getting dressed?" he asked, eyebrows raised. Kelly stopped, eyes wide, chest still heaving. She looked down at herself, then at him, then at the cameras, and made a choice. She leaned into the chaos. "No, I'm still getting dressed," she declared. The audience roared with laughter. Kelly wasn't trying to be funny, but the honesty of the moment was comedy gold. She tugged at her blouse, smoothing out wrinkles that weren't coming out without a steamer and a prayer. "I'm missing a lot of things," she confessed, wincing as she tugged the blazer across her shoulders. Mark leaned closer, pretending to inspect. "Like what? Should I be worried?" Kelly shot him a warning glare, a don't-push-your-luck glare, but she couldn't help but smile. "Well, for starters, I don't think this shirt is actually meant to be worn without a belt." She patted her waist awkwardly, as if the missing accessory might magically appear if she just touched the right spot. "I feel like I'm being held together by nothing." The crowd lost it, Mark shrugged. "It looks fine to me." "It's not fine," Kelly whispered sharply, but the laughter already assured her viewers loved this more than a perfect outfit. Imperfect Kelly was, in fact, perfection. How a malfunction becomes a moment. The next several minutes became a live, televised version of a morning meltdown. While interviewing a guest, Kelly kept subtly tugging at her blazer, checking that everything still covered what it was supposed to cover. When they cut to a cooking segment, she bent down too quickly and froze, eyes wide, hands clamped over the edges of her jacket. "I swear if this thing pops open, I'm retiring on the spot," she muttered into the mic. Mark nearly spit out his coffee. The guest chef, completely thrown off, offered her an apron. "Would this help?" "Unless there's a belt attached to it," Kelly replied. "It's hopeless." The chef proceeded with his demo, while Kelly stood beside him, arms strategically crossing and uncrossing in miniature choreography. Every now and then, she'd whisper, "Don't look down, nothing's attached, nothing is secure." And despite the panic, every moment only made her more endearing. The joy of unfiltered chaos. There is something refreshing about a host willing to be messy on live TV. Most morning shows thrive on picture-perfect appearances. Hair that looks sculpted by angels, clothing that falls perfectly without tug or crease, jokes polished and reheard in rehearsal. But Kelly Ripa is allergic to pretense. If something embarrassing happens, she doesn't cover it up, she narrates it. If there's a mishap, she doesn't hide behind professionalism. She dramatizes it. She turns wardrobe malfunctions into national entertainment and honesty into her brand. The moral of the belt. At the end of the hour, after weather updates, interviews, and one near-catastrophic squat during a stretching demo, Kelly sat back in her chair and exhaled. "Next time," she announced, "I'm waking up 10 minutes earlier."